Previously on Let's Rant. What happens when you French kiss a hammer? Why you shouldn't put a firework up your ass. And the feeling you get when the weirdo on the bus follows you home. Hello, good morning, welcome and hi to today's episode of Let's Rant. Now today we will be looking at the latest installment from the Lord of the Rings collection of games, which is Shadow of Mordor. Now at this moment in time I have completed the game in its entirety, as well as the majority of the side missions. It's taken me 25 hours to do so on normal sort of level difficulty. And so today we'll be looking at mostly the gameplay, what it's like to feel, just sort of generally roaming around and having a look at it. It's in action, a little bit like we did last time. And like last time, we will be having another drink along a rant, as it were. And today's key word or phrase will be Batman, or anything relating to the Batman collection of games. And I pre-warn you now, I think you're going to get pretty damn hammered if you join in. Today, my drink of choice is going to be the 12-year-old Highland Park, which is a particularly smooth Scotch, single malts, and definitely I highly recommend beginner's Scotch. And maybe if I said enough, they might sponsor me. That would be good. That would be really good. I like that. Okay, so the first thing to have a look at is the game. It is an open-world game. This is becoming increasingly popular these days. Literally just dropping into a sand pit environment, and as you can see, it's a beautiful, beautiful world. Once again, it's a next generation game, so the graphics look great. It's feels lovely, and it looks well, very much like Batman Tolkien Edition. Take a shot. So, ooh, look. Looks like there's some action down there. Let's go down there, have a bit of fun, and see what happens. Whee! Now, as you can see, there was a jump down. I actually changed my appearance. So, at the moment, I am the main character, Talion, who is a ranger. But when I'm up there, and when I press the LB button, I turn into this wraith, this elvish ghost. Now, let's have a look at the storyline first, mostly because it's pretty much non-existent. I hate to say this to you. If you're looking to buy this game because you think, yes, it's based on Lord of the Rings and therefore it's going to have an excellent story like the books themselves, then you are going to be hugely disappointed. Let's bring him down. Ooh, lovely little headshot there. Oh, and in your face as well. And is there another one? No, it must have gone. So, yes. If you're looking for a great game with an amazing story, then, well, you're going to get the first half. You're going to get a great game. I'll be honest with you, this did join my Otaku Top 10 of 2014. It was, I think it came second, actually. It was certainly my second favourite game after, what did I play that year? State of Decay. State of Decay came first, despite being a much older game. I really got into it. Well, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to Lord of the Rings. We're going to talk about State of Decay today. Maybe another day. So, yes, story is, well, practically non-existent, and it's become a bit of a recurring theme, I fear, in modern games. You put us in an open-world environment, which is great. You think, yeah, I can get in there, I can do what I want, so, like, speed up some Urukai. Speaking of which, let's speed up some Urukai. Let's just stab you in the back of the head. Ooh, look at that. Lovely, lovely. Ooh, let's chase up with you. Really put it down properly, right in the back, in the arm. Look at that. That is fantastically fun, and that is what I like. I'm really enjoying a nice open world environment, getting to do what I want, how I want to do it, which is great. But why should the story suffer? It's become very much a case of, if the game is open world, we do not need to put a story in. We don't have to, and I think that's the wrong mentality to have. And it did disappoint me a lot, because I did go into this game hoping to engage with the characters and enjoy the story, and I'll be honest, we didn't read it all. I mean, if you're looking at the story as a whole, without ruining it for you, well, actually, I can't really tell anything about it at all. I played this game only a month ago, and I can't actually remember the story at all. It was stuff happened. That's pretty much all I can remember. Yeah, you're this ranger, and you in the first 20 minutes of the game, you do your usual, you know, learn how to walk and talk and breathe at the same time, and you die. You die straight away. Short game, really worth that 40 quid, definitely. You die within the first 20 minutes. And that kind of brings on the main sort of mechanic of the game, really, is the fact that you die, and you die a lot, and that is woven into the way the game is played. But yeah, so the story is, you're this ranger, and you die at the beginning. Your wife and child are killed by some guy who's not very nice. And he's controlling the orcs, or the Urukai, and you don't like that much. So, oh, and there's a wandering spirit, who's this guy. It kind of latches onto your soul whilst you're in the ghost world and brings you back to your body and gives you the opportunity to get revenge. So it is a very straightforward concept. It is just a story of revenge, really. That's it. It was really boring, actually. I found myself not engaged at all in the story whatsoever. But that's fine. That's fine, because this game is a game about gameplay. It's almost a game that never ends. In that roundabout color, because I mean, as you see here, I've completed the game, but I'm still roaming around doing stuff, and that is because this game has a very key mechanic and gameplay style, and that is the Urukai and the orcs. Yeah. Let's bring you down. Nice stab. And let's finish you off. Right. Pause. Rudely interrupted by the Urukai in his face. I was talking about, yes, the main gameplay concept. Now, how this game works is you have... Oh, it's actually probably easier if I show you. Sauron's army. Now, at the very top, you have your 5 Urukai warlords. And below them, you have your lieutenants, captains, and sergeants. And they go down in strength as they go down in level. Now, as you play this game, you have these 5 factions, and they're constantly having a tiff. They don't really get along very much. And as you play the game, you'll see they're constantly having, well, generally going to war. You will actually see them as clans fighting each other, looking to gain more power, looking to gain more prestige, and so on and so forth. And you can actually interfere with that. You can actually go in and go, actually, no, I'm going to let you win, or I'm going to make sure that you win, or I'm just going to kill you both. You know, I don't care. And that is it, really. That is the gameplay. There, in a nutshell, open map, Urukais, they're having a tiff, and you just happen to wander in and just sort of generally upset things. And you can't die. And you can't die whilst well, you can die. That's you can die, and you can die a lot. I actually did die quite a bit at the beginning. But you don't die in the traditional sense. You don't die forever. Actually, I'm gonna go. Let's go and die. Let's go and die, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's find an Urukai. And it might take a little while, especially just the one, because I do have quite a few hit points at this point. But when you die, the Urukai in person, he actually goes up the ranks. He actually gets to beat you up, and then because he's killed you, he gets to level up. He becomes a stronger, or he goes up the ranks. He becomes a sergeant or captain, so on and so forth. Yeah, let's watch this happen. It's so painful just stand there and get killed. It's really quite painful to do. I just want to fight. I want to beat them up. But no. Must be patient. Let them kill you. Almost dead. Here we go. Last strike. Bring me down. And of course, even though you can't die forever, it does actually give you a second chance. But there it is, and he's down. Oh, where's he there? And here we go. This is what I mean. Now, because he's beaten me, he gets to go up the ranks, and he gets nice, pretty armor and a new weapon. He gets his own stats and so on and so forth. Let's see him take his place. Ooh. Nice gear. So now my immediate mentality is I must find him and kill him for killing me. And the depressing thing, he will remember that he killed me, and he'll rub it in my face as well, like, yeah, come on, have a bit. Come on, you know you want some? Ah, yeah, you know I beat you. I kicked your ass. I totally killed you. And that, oh, they get so arrogant. Just they kill you once. They get you one time, you're not paying attention, and that's it. But let's go get him. I'm going to mark my target, and I'm going to find you. Let's find him and bring him down. Let's prove my point.
You worked with Sauron.
So, as I died, I come back to life again on one of these towers as my wraith form.
To heal a land wounded by war. My weakness was to be seduced by evil that seemed fair. He is the
That toast does mutter on. I tell you what, it's like, it must be what it's like to have voices in your head. It does drone on. It does drone on sometimes. Because really, this is what, you know, you just want to go and you want to just kill some orcs in Urukai. In there, just stab. It is done in absolutely beautiful detail. Look at that. So that is, well, I say the story or lack of it in a Bombshell. So let's have a look at the gameplay. Ooh.
You should have stayed dead the first time.
See what I mean? Right, you're going down. In the side. Look at that. Alright. And because he's a captain, he won't actually go down like one of the other ones. You actually got to try harder. Now, each Urukai captain will have their own stats, and they will be immune to certain things like aerial strikes or stuns, and they will be vulnerable to certain things. Like he is vulnerable. He doesn't like being in pain, but some don't like certain beasts or don't like fire. But you can't grab them until you weaken them. Bring them down a bit more. And that's what I quite like, is that every Urukai has its own personality. Even if they don't kill you, they're just sort of like promoted in their own, own justification. They have their own style, their own fighting style, their own person. Oh, look at that! That was beautiful, right in the throat. And because I killed a captain, I get a nice new toy, which is here. I'll pick this up. And it will be a new room, something I can actually attach to my thing. Was a 73% chance to recover 25 health on the head explosion kill. That sounds pretty cool. I like that. So as you can see, the gameplay and the fighting style is very reminiscent to Take a Shot? Batman. Yes, this is exactly the same as the Batman games. And if you haven't played the Batman games, shame on you, especially if you haven't played Batman Arkham City, which I would say is by far the best of the lot. But it's exactly the same style. You hit them with the X button, if using a joypad like I am, an Xbox joypad. You block with the Y button when they go flashy. You stun them with the red button if you want to hit them a lot. And you try and take on as many people at once without dying. And as you see on the left hand side, you've got that little counter. And when you get to a certain level, you get to do a nice little special move by holding two of the buttons down, and depending on which two you press, you do a different kind of finisher. Let's bring him down and get him not quite. So yeah, the combat style is elegant, it's beautiful, it's really enjoyable. You want to keep doing it, you just want to keep getting fight after fight, especially with nice finishes like that. And I would definitely say it is on a par with the Batman games. You don't get the tools like you do. You only get your bow, which nice that it is, in the head. It's not the same. You can do some pretty cool things like this. Little teleport stealth kill, which is always good fun. But yeah, you don't get obviously the batarang and all that other sort of fun stuff. But at the same time, because you're playing a Lord of the Rings game and a Batman game, Take a Shot, you get to kill them. And on this nanny pandy just, you know, I'm just gonna knock you out and, you know, watch you come back to life again and beat me up again. You just cut their heads off, and that's just entertaining in a way that's hard to describe. Especially in the level of detail that they do it in. They clearly, when they made this game, knew their audience, which was people who like violence and like cutting heads off, like that. Where'd he go? I have to admit, there's not much more to say about this game. And I know that seems really quite shocking for a game which came... So it was my second favourite game of 2014. It's... I mean, that's just it, really. There's... That's what's there. And one more. Look at that. In their head. I could just do that all day. Oh, no way, elf shop. The gameplay is great. It's smooth, it's fluidic, it's enjoyable. The combat style is, as I said, responsive. It's challenging enough that if you take on just one person, it's really easy. But if you take on more than, I don't know, 7 or 8 at a time, it's a lot more of a challenge. It suffers from not having enough, I'd say, sort of challenges. That's what I quite liked about Batman with take a shot. I really am going to get you guys properly wasted today. Is, you know, that you can actually go on proper challenges where you really try and bring down as many people in one go and survive at the same time. It doesn't really have that. It focuses purely on the hierarchy structure of the Urukai kind. And speaking of which, let's see if we can find a side mission. Let's have a look at this kind of stuff. As I said, I've completed all the missions at the point, but as you play the game and as time progresses, missions pop up all the time. So take this one here. You've got ensure that if he's blue, I've possessed him, and he's on my side now. So I'm going to make sure that he has a successful hunt. We don't want him to die. What have we got here? This guy, he awaits my command, so I can go there and tell him to do something. Here we go. And he waits my command as well. He waits my command. They'll wait my command. I mean, Jesus, I'm just all your own lives. Crikey. Oh, this guy. Trial by ordeal to defend your fellow. Trial by ordeal. That could be fun. Here we go. Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll tell him to do something, and then we'll do this little mission over here. We're unbroken here. We've got some slaves we need to free. So yeah. So you don't have the same. You have the same sort of like binds, you know, 20 pieces of flag missions and all that kind of stuff. But you don't get the same sort of challenges. Although, if you can wind up enough people, you can actually make a challenge for yourself. Oh, jump. There we go. Ah, down. And now this is where the fun happens for me, is because I do like a bit more of a challenge. I like to try and wind up as many people as I can, and then see how long I can survive without dying, which often isn't that long. As you can see, there are a few different types of orcs. We've got your normal kinds, which are just more big burly with the sword. Oops. Oh dear, I just killed my own captain. That's a bit embarrassing. Oh well. There you go, so you've got your normal kind, like him. You've got your kind with the shield there. Now those ones you can only attack from behind, so you've got to jump over them and then attack from behind. You've got your smaller sort of goblins, they're a bit quicker but don't do as much damage. Double bomb. You've got your berserkers, where you have to stun them first with the traditional B button, like that. Boom, stun, and then bring them down. And then you have your archers and archers and spear throwers. I suppose you put both in the long range category. That's just that. So there's not a huge range in the number of enemies that you have. You also got the two kinds of monsters, which is these ones here, which you can mount. Now I've just gained a skill there where I can mount them really quickly. But beforehand, at the beginning of the game, you really got to challenge to sort of like get on top of them. So yeah, the variety of monsters or Urukai is a bit boring, a bit limited at best. And I'll be honest, the missions are quite repetitive. It is the same thing over and over again, but at the same time, I found myself really enjoying it. I did find myself, come back to this game over and over and over again. I mean, as I said, I played it for 25 hours. I mean, that's a lot of gameplay. So let's bring him over here. So this guy, he's my war chief. I possessed him. When he was a lowly little runt, and then I killed all the orcs above him so he could take his place at the top. And now he's in a position of power, and he's on my side. I can actually give him certain commands and tell him to do particular things. Right, so let's dominate him. Like you are the law. I will command you. So what should I get him to do? Right, I can get him to start a right. Death threat. Death threat. Right. Oh, he can't get to attack my ping. So yeah, let's start a right with him. Yes, let's cause a power struggle. Ooh, not got cheap for that as well. Get in. Now, what will start happening? Right, I'll let him go, and he will go and start a right, which I will now. There'll be a new mission available. Where is it? Ah, there it is, over there. So let's go and track that mission and have a look at it in action. Now, whilst we make our way there, let's have a quick discussion about the character progression in this game. As I said, the progression with regards to the story is, I say, limited and at best. But like all things, there has a character progression with regards to experience points and how you level up. Now, there are sort of three ways really of doing this. The first way is your usual way. Let's bring up wrong button. Amateur is your normal upgrades. Now, as you play the game, you get experience points. As you see here, 2,687 experience points to my next level. Not that that matters because I've got everything. And then you've got underneath that in the red bar power points to unlock the next tier. Now, as you kill people mainly, and also do the missions, you will get experience points. Doing the missions is really the quickest way of getting experience points. You don't actually get many for killing. And it's only because there's so much of the killing that's avoided. It just wouldn't take any time at all. You use those points to gain your certain abilities of choice, and to unlock more skills. These ones lower down. You have to reach a certain power level. Now, you can only get these power levels by completing the missions, like we're about to go on one now, and also by defeating champions, killing the war chiefs and sergeants and lieutenants and those sorts of things. So that's the first way of leveling up, and this is the most fun way because you do get some really cool skills. Ones I would recommend the most is this Vault Stun. It is the most useful skill in my personal opinion, because you can jump over an enemy and then stun at the same time. Really good against the berserkers and the shield ones. The double charge, so you can do two finishes in one go, is pretty damn useful. And the shadow mount, being able to mount a Karagor from a distance is really useful as well, because otherwise you've got to get up high and jump down. You've got to time it just right. And I wasn't really very good at that at all, to say the least. But yeah, if you play this game, they're definitely the skills go for. Definitely. The next thing are attributes. Now, you get attributes by getting Mithra, or however you pronounce it. And you get that by doing the smaller missions, the white missions I call them, the sort of civilian-based ones. No, so that's rescuing slaves, things like that. And the sort of the fetch quests where if you find the artifacts or the notes, it's always the same thing. There's always something which is left around. You might as well just be a glorified litter picker-upper, you know. Someone's left their junk around, go and find it, things they could do goddamn lazy to do it themselves. But nevertheless, by doing so, you get this, and the attributes is your passive stuff. So this is increasing your hit points. Definitely that I would recommend, especially early on in the game. The number of arrow shots you can have, how long you can focus for, and the amount of runes you can put in your 3 weapons: the dagger, the bow, and the sword. And that leads us nicely onto our last level of sort of leveling up, which is the runes. Now you can have 1 rune per weapon at first, but as I said, if you got the skill trees, you can unlock more. And with these runes, they give your weapons certain advantages. So take this one here. This is an what do I get here? Recover all focus and all health from killing a captain or warchief. That's a really useful rune to have, actually, because if you're in a big fight, aim for the main boss in the middle, bring him down, and all your health comes back, and you just keep on fighting. This one doubles the effectiveness of my running, my Elven Swift boost, 94% to recover, 50 health from each drain or brand, so on and so forth. Immune to poison, that's quite useful. And as you saw earlier, as I killed a warchief, he left a rune. And depending on, it's really luck of the draw what kind of rune you get and how good they are. If you do a death threat on a chieftain, they have more bodyguards, it becomes more difficult, but at the same time, by doing so, you get better runes when they die. The yellow ones are the best, as always. Blue ones are pretty good, white ones are kind of mediocre. And that's the sort of 3 ways of leveling up. Now I must admit, I did find the runes didn't have a huge impact, apart from the really good runes at the end, but the beginning runes, you just didn't really notice them at all. They didn't make a huge difference. But certainly the attributes, gaining more hit points and things like that, and some of the skills, definitely a huge bonus. Right, another. Right, so I'm gonna. Difficult though it is to do, I'm going to run past all the fighting, and I'm going to go straight to this mission, so we can have a look at one of these sort of challenges in action. Because I think really, after that, that'll be pretty much the end of this rant, because there's not much more to say. And that's a shame, really, because as I said, it is a good game, and I wish, like sort of Dying Light, I was able to rant about it for hours and hours and hours, with great relish. I mean, I certainly didn't even get through 10% of what I was going to rant on about in my last one, just because I felt like there was so much there you could do, where in this one, as I said, it's so much more repetitive, but it's... I don't know how to describe it. It's a kind of mind-numbing repetitiveness, which is at the same time so really enjoyable. I mean, as I said, I just said right then, I'm going to go and focus on killing this one person, but I couldn't help myself. I had to go and kill these people here. Now I just found out that this one here I just tried to own. I thought it was a normal one, but it's actually a captain. And that is the fun of it. It's just roaming around, and you never know what you're going to find, who you're going to meet. I'm going to make myself the poultry sacrifice. Stab me in the head. And there it is. That is the enjoyable. I just can't help but get into fight after fight. Oh, I can now capture him. Right, now that he's green, I can capture him. And once you ground onto one, you can either shank them, just get a nice little stab in the back there, you can brand them, or you can dominate them. Now, dominating brands at the same time, and this is the fun bit here. So when you brand, you saw me earlier dominate one. Now that I've branded him, he is now under my control, and I can either gain some intel on another one, just let him go, give him a command, or give a death threat. Sort of increase the difficulty of another person. So let's give him a command. Let's tell him to do something. Why is him here? What should we do? Let's get him to murder someone else. Off you go. Go and get that guy a good stab in the back. And that's it. He's now mine forever until he dies, or I release him. And admittedly, you can only release them by killing them and making their heads go pop. And that's also entertaining. But yes, let's focus on the task at hand. Oh, there's a room back there. I'm pretty full of that one. Stuff we've done. So let's go on to this mission. So yeah, I haven't played in the DLCs for this game. I have been quite tempted with them because I would like to get back into this game again. Because I said it is enjoyable, but I don't know. It's one of those situations where I don't find myself trying to force myself to like this game, but now, and I do find the urge to want to pick up and play. It's a pick up and play game. You play it, and I can just go, you know what, I'm just gonna have a quick hour bash, you know, just own a few orcs, and then that's me done for the day. I mean, I will say, I haven't much enjoy roaming around and just getting stuck in. So here's Commander, War Chief. It's going to be a big tiff. Let's accept this and let's join in. I think probably the most disappointing part of it is the lack of variety. Yes, until we all here in a field all the time.
Facing me, your death will be slow.
I'll pop your eyes out with my own fingers.
Someone thinks she's the big man. So let's have a look here. Oh, do I know anything about this one? So bark. What can we see here? So he is damaged by range attacks. He's damaged by combat finishers. He hates the big giant people. He's an ambusher. He is immune to stealth, so there's no point me doing stealth kicking. Oh, he's immune to Vault Breaker, my personal favourite thing. No chance. Victim gets no last chance, and he inspires those around him. Yeah, looks like he's going to be a tough one. Let's bring him down. So that's the once you learn a bit about your opponents, you can find out certain skills and certain things about them. Now I know, as I said, this won't work. Immune to stuff, but I want to get stuck in anyway. Here we go. Now, this is when I actually become engrossed and become silent as I actually think hard about cutting off orcs' heads. Ooh, stop that shot. The detail in this game is amazing. I have to admit, graphically, this game is fantastic.
And learn, Ranger! My lads and me'll show you what real fighting looks like!
In the head. In the neck. Bring it down. Come on. Get another shot in there. Has a range which is pretty weak, so I should be able to knock him over. I think we could stab him inside the head. Should I possess him or should I just take him down? Let's just take him down. Yes. And off with his head. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And so, mission is complete. Let's see how things have changed. They had a tiff. Oh, and he died. So his power has now increased. So if I was looking to increase my power, if I killed him, I'd get 20 power points for it now. It's good. As I'm on top level now, so I don't really have to worry about that so much. And that was it. And that's the whole drop-in and play. It is so easy. Oh, wait, knowing the weakness. Because there's nothing you can really get engrossed with. Say, take for example The Witcher. You know, if you're going to play that game, you want to sit down and you want to enjoy it. You want to make the most of it, and you're going to play it for 4 or 5 hours as you get engrossed in storyline. With this, you can just pick it up for half an hour, have your fun, take a few heads. It's been a long day. You just want to kill some orcs. Stab them in the back of the head, and that's it. And it doesn't need to be more than that. The honest truth is I wish it was, but it doesn't really need to be more than that. It's a good introduction to this kind of gameplay. Jump on the bench. I do wish there was more. Oh, there they are. You know what? I told a lie. There's another kind of monster. These little faff about creatures which sort of come out at night. They're just a pain. And, yeah, I think that's really it. I mean, we can sort of sum up our Let's Rant there. I think hopefully we've had a good sort of look at the gameplay, the way it looks, the entertainment factor in generally running amok. As I said, it's like GTA. It is that, is it? I mean, I was thinking about this in the car, and what this game is like is it's like when you play GTA or Dead Rising or something like that, and you finish the game, we finished playing for that day, and you save the game, and you think, you know what, I've saved the game now, whatever happens now doesn't matter. So you just sort of spend 20 minutes generally, trying to get as many police officers to chase you as possible, or just generally get into mischief and just, well, that doesn't matter. That's what this whole game is about. I mean, because just nothing matters. I mean, even if you die, it doesn't matter. And it's, I don't know if I like it or not, is the honest truth. I do like to have a game where I can just get up and mess about. It's almost like Saints Row in that sort of level of fuckaboutness, pardon my French. But it's, I don't know, I want a game to tell me off if I die. I want there to be something that says, try not to suck.
Chains of the Dark Lord.
Let's make his head pop. Oops. I forgot I've got a command in chief in this area, and I just made his head go pop. Whoopsie daisies. Oh well. What you gonna do, eh? Yeah, so in that way it's good fun, and it's nice to just sort of unwind and not really have to think about it. But at the same time, there should be something. I mean, even whether Dead Rising or you'd have to start from the beginning or the last save point, and half your stuff would be broken, and Dying Light you lose experience points, and Dead Island you lose money. I mean, there's got to be something which sort of punishes you for being rubbish, and this doesn't. I mean, the game, it's a really good introduction to game. If you're not a big gamer and you want to kind of get into game, but you're worried that you're not very good at it, then get this game, because, well, you should get this game anyways. It's an enjoyable game, but it doesn't challenge you at all in that regard. I don't think at any point of this game did I really become challenged. I think there's one or two missions where you have to be stealth all the time. There's a challenge, but it's only because you had to be stealth. It wasn't a challenge because of the fighting. It wasn't a challenge, because I lost too much because I kept dying over and over again. And that's really it. I think it's a good game. It's I'd say I highly recommend it. I think I would give it. I'm torn between a 7.5 and an 8. I say it looks beautiful. The gameplay is the gameplay is, let's say, perfect. Well, it's not perfect. I mean, it's near as perfect as you get in this kind of genre, sort of open world, just sort of messing about genre. Would I like to see a second one? Yes, and I'd like them to address some of the key issues. I'd want them to make the map bigger. I'd want them to make more challenges, and I'd want to have more variety. But at the same time, I can't knock it too much because I am 25 hours in and still enjoying with great relish. Just killing orc after orc after orc. I think just make this guy's head pop, and we will call it a day. So thank you very much for watching today's List Rants. I appreciate the fact that it probably wasn't as in-depth as we would like, because to say the truth of the matter is that this is not a game where there's a huge amount to say about it. Next episode will probably be on Assassin's Creed. Now that there's going to be, I think, a lot to talk about on that one, especially with regards to the, once again, a bit of controversy with how they reacted with their keys and say, more dubiously acquired ones, and how they reacted with the way they sort of ban all these keys and then actually, we're not going to ban these keys afterwards. I can't really remember who's, if people bought them legitimately or not. So I think that's going to be a fun conversation to have. But with regards to this one, I would say thank you very much for watching, and sweet dreams, and kill orcs.